we're going to talk about something so interesting, complete food for thought, because you'll agree with me when I say that modern design in 2025 sort of feels like it's all about revolutionizing trends and sometimes, confusing inspiration with imitation. And this trend-centric approach is what's truly leading us in the direction of decision fatigue as far as design is concerned, because we have this overwhelming array of materials and technology. And so prioritizing around genuine human-centric needs can become challenging and quite a task sometimes. So there is a paradigm shift that is possibly here already that concerns aligning design with what we truly need and not just making it self-indulgent. So the question that we aim to answer with this panel is, does design need a major undo? And that's why this panel is called Control Z. So please join me in welcoming our incredible panelists. But I'm going to begin by introducing our moderator to you, who is Senior Associate Editor at India Today Home, which is India's largest selling magazine. We all know it's dedicated to design, decor, and architecture. She obviously has been leading key editorial positions at the Times of India and Network 18 Publishing, a very seasoned design storyteller and editor, the absolutely perfect person who's going to ask some very pertinent questions on behalf of all of us to our incredible panelists. So please join me in welcoming Ridhi, Kale onto the stage here.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for that really lovely introduction. Our panel today is a mix of designers, architects, people who are able to tell us what really trends are or whether you should follow them or not follow them. So I'm going to begin by introducing Ali, who's sneaking into our circle. Ali Baldiwala is a partner at Baldiwala Edge, a family-run interior design consultancy known for its deeply human approach to spaces. With a diploma in interior design and a background in commerce, Ali brings fresh energy and entrepreneurial sensitivity to the studio's legacy. He has played a key role in shaping contemporary, refined environments for the next generation of homeowners and budding entrepreneurs, offering designs that are equal parts functional and expressive. Working closely alongside senior Baldiwala, Ali blends youthful creativity with seasoned execution, forming a complementary partnership that anchors every project. But that's not all. Ali is also an actor. So a hobbyist actor, Ali often brings a sense of drama, movement, and emotion to his material choices, turning interiors into narratives. And it's really amazing to have him here and a blush at being introduced. Thank you for being here with us, Ali. Next, we have Srikanth, SK. He's the head of consumer experience, Birla Opus Paints. With over 2 decades of shaping how India experiences color, texture, and design, Srikanth SK brings a rare blend of architectural insight and business strategy to the decorative paints industry. As head of consumer experience at Birla Opus, he is redefining how users engage with spaces and surfaces. But why is he where he is? That's because previously at Asian Paints, he led portfolios across wallpapers, adhesive, and textures, playing a key role in building iconic brands within that company. He is an architect by training with a management degree from IIM Lucknow. He is known for combining creative vision with consumer insight, making him a leading voice in reimagining design in our everyday life. So that's Srikanth SK for you, everyone. Next, who's here today is another really interesting design expert. Baarish Vasant Date. I think it's the most apt name for the season we're in. And the fact that he is doing such amazing work in the design industry, I think it sets him apart. So his journey in design began early. He was introduced to the world of visual arts by his designer parents. He studied architecture under Sen Kapadia and worked with Nozar Wadia before pursuing a master's in visual communication at IDC, IIT Bombay. He's also spent time as an exchange student at the University of Holland in Tel Aviv and interned at Lim Teng Nyong's studio, I'm not sure if I pronounced it correctly, in Kuala Lumpur. In 2002, Baarish founded Graphics Beyond, one of India's pioneering studios dedicated to wayfinding design. And what wayfinding design is, we will be discovering as we talk about it in our panel today. But that's not all. He's a former water polo player and a long distance sweet swimmer. He balances quiet intensity with deep creative vision, shaping how we navigate and experience our spaces. Thank you so much for being here today and bringing this amazing weather with your name. Next, we have Kushagra. Now, Kushagra is a very seasoned player in the outdoor industry. Now, by outdoor industry, I mean your terraces, your rooftop, balconies. It's a pivotal role that any home really needs to complete itself. So Kushagra Tyagi is the founder and principal designer at Purru. It's a boutique design studio known for crafting soulful, nature-inspired spaces that bridge the indoors and outdoors. With a thoughtful eye for detail and a deep respect for nature, Kushagra is redefining terraces, balconies, patios, home interiors into lifestyle-led sanctuaries. Over the past 6 years, Purru has completed over 80 bespoke projects across India, working closely with urban homeowners, architects, and premium developers. Kushagra's design language is rooted in earth-tone materials, greenery, artisan textures, creating spaces that are both luxurious and deeply grounded. He flits between Pune and Mumbai, and he leads Purru with the belief that design isn't just about aesthetics, but helping people live more beautiful, intentional lives. Thank you for being on our panel today, Kushagra, and once again, welcome to all of you. We're going to start with a question which is for all our panelists. Do you think we need a client-designer equation rethink? If one word. Ali, let's start with you.
Boundaries.
But okay, I can hear a lot of giggles. I think a lot of them agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm someone who really gets very, friendly. And I've realized now in my last 2 years that it doesn't really help. So I think having your guards up at times, I'm not saying all the time, but having certain boundaries is very important.
Okay, Baarish?
Conflict.
Conflict.
Because without conflict, there wouldn't be discovery.
Yeah.
So we are not talking about really fights where clients don't land up paying the bills, but conflict in terms of conversations, yeah, different points of views. So one of the things that connects to this whole design POV bit is a brilliant branding of POV, which is a point of view, where as much as all of us as designers stress, most people start with my window, my couch, my design, my color. There's, I think we've got to respect another point of view by the client also.
Okay, yeah, true, very true. Kushagra?
I think it should be more of a collaborative approach towards design with the client and as a designer than a transactional affair.
That is an interesting point of view. Now, this could perhaps is contrarian, but what do you feel, Srikanth?
I don't know if it's by design. It looks like, there is a 3-year...
And I'm the bridge.
Yeah, but I would say deep understanding as far as, a brand is concerned, because customers sometimes say things that they don't mean, but I think it's up to us to really figure out,
You
what is
also
the...
call customers irrational. Like, you have to
Yeah.
tell us an example. How are we irrational?
I mean, I think if as customers, including me, we got, the best product, which did everything at a cheapest cost, we would all be happy. So I think that's the real expectation, but somehow, we all know that's irrational, but it doesn't stop us from wanting that anyway.
True. I have to agree with you there. Now, there's been an explosion of materials, technology, and to a lot of people, this has caused a decision fatigue. So, has what's trending overpowered what's needed? Kushagra, what do you feel?
Yes, actually, because even though if things are trending does not mean it will last for next 2 or 3 years. There are so many things which come and go. Because
But
it
you
does
feel
not,
people are overpowering it?
yeah, there's a lot of visual noise actually out there. People are just going like Instagram, social media, you go to Pinterest, you go to Google, there's so many things. You search for one material, you'll find 10 different things for it. And clients are already confused. With all of that information, they're already confused. And when they come to us, they demand that explanation to them. and that knowledge we have to give it to them. And every time there is a new, like I'm sure there's a new something
that's taken place.
Yeah, there is something new involvement today.
Which actually is really
So-
interesting that you said that, because here on my right is a gentleman who doesn't believe in trends. So how do you navigate this? Like taking off from what Kushagra is saying.
So for me, it's simple. I think it's about the purpose. What's the goal? What's the client's reason of being in that house? How is their lifestyle? What do they like and not like? I can't make it about a trend, right? It's a story, it's a narration they've given us as a brief that needs to be implemented in the design because the house eventually is their home.
Yeah.
So I can't say that this is trending right now. Japandi is going on. You have a Japandi home.
But having said that, you brought out the Japandi thing.
I knew
We
that was
featured, there was a point of time everybody was into this Wabi Sabi Japandi, and Ali came up with a beautiful home which we featured as well, and that was trending. So not all trends are bad, no, Ali?
No, but that was not because of a trend. That was because the client was from New York and his father was ill and they were settling back in Bombay. So they said they want fabrics that are breathable. They wanted materials that are maintenance free. I mean, no materials maintenance free, but they wanted that. And VOC free prints and a lot of that kind of a brief. So we worked on the brief. That brief happened to become a Japanese and Scandinavian look was not because it was trending. It was because the brief demanded us to work with those kind of materials, demanded us to have a cozy and a more lighter home. And then when it came out, I said, oh wow, this looks like a Japandi home, let's give it a name. So we called
That's
it
an
Masika
interesting
home.
way to work around it and perhaps circumvent this. Srikanth, what do you feel about this explosion?
See, I think definitely there is information and content overdose. And my feeling is it's become difficult to figure out what's trending because we are all seeing very personalized streams of information, right? What I'm seeing on my feed is very different from what everyone is saying. So what earlier it was very easy to say that, everyone is kind of gravitating towards a particular trend or a direction. That's becoming more and more difficult to do. Maybe, like magazines, people who are in the know, designers, I think are in a far better way to interpret. Like, I think that's a great way of how organically that came out. But the information overdose part is definitely real. I think, people are going off social media to just get a break. I think detox is definitely that's so. How to navigate this, especially from the context of design, I think is going to be a bigger challenge in the next few years.
Baarish, coming to you. I know you have very interesting views on this.
Trends and why not? The entire Asian Paints has been color trending, setting trends, and why not? Pantone sets the color for a year. We'll continue this into the self-indulgence later. But I think designers and design critics are all in a rush to constantly judge. As far as there is a reference to context, as far as he mentioned, there's a purpose towards which it's done with, it's okay. It's absolutely okay.
Let's be trendy, guys. And that leads us to our next question. And with panelists like these, you don't need moderators like me. But is design today self-indulgent, Baarish?
Why not? Yeah, else, so all of us, I'm going to use the analogy of fine dining. All of us are extremely comfortable with our, often with our bowl of dal khichdi. It suffices us, it's comfort food. Why would you go into a fine dine and look at those 3 pieces of sushi and eventually have it? It's all to do with experience. And so there's something for the soul, something for the emotion, provided that it satiates the hunger a little bit too. But coming back, unless designers discover, unless designers explore and look beyond the tangible, just designing for a purpose or problem solve was done in the Bauhaus, post-industrial revolution, Walter Gropius gang, they all did it. I think the times today allow the material exploration, the technological advances, the world is becoming flatter, allows for a great deal of discovery and exploration. And I think we should, as in why not self-indulge? Else all spoons would have looked the same. Same with any product of design, right?
Okay.
So designers may not be fine artists because fine art is pure self-expression. Here there is a client, there's a budget, there's a need, there's a process. A little bit of this self-indulgence is helping us where we are today.
So, Ali, you're from a multi-generational design family, right? Do you feel that's better equipped you to perhaps view design as not as trends, but look for timeless aspects of design?
Well, I've been conditioned in that manner. My dad's always told me use materials that last long, use materials that have a better, are more efficient, and all of that. And you know, every time I would go for a meeting with new clients, and when I used to assist my dad back in the day, he would say our homes stay for more than 15 years, 20 years. And I still use that dialogue with my clients, but I don't think the clients want the homes for 15 years and 20 years anymore. It's, you know, in a jiffy, they want the house ready, and in a jiffy, they want a new house, they want a new trend. So how I balance that aspect of theirs is what I really work towards, right? I do still use materials that last for a lot of years. It's not like we use sasta tikau material just for the time being. We're not set designers here, we are interior designers, and we shouldn't forget that. But at the same time, I know that the clients will change their home in another 7 or 10 years max. No one wants to stay in the same design for more than this much time, at least for the clients that I have. But they all have that thing because, you know, we also working with multi-generational families that have been hearing that in their homes, that ghar banao to ekdam 20 saal tak tikna chahiye. So that is something that we hear from our younger clients as well, because my dad said this, my mother said this, and
I
we
wanna
give them.
Stop you there because something really struck. But we are like that. I agree, wholeheartedly agree. But currently, if you see an IKEA, which is about what, quick fix and quick broken object as well, right? Because it's not a long-lasting thing. There's lines and lines and lines for it. When they first opened up in Hyderabad, there was not there was not an inch to spare because everybody was there and buying, and they continue to wherever they come. So there is a dichotomy within our.
100%, but then that's because they are aspirational. The clients nowadays, like, okay, for Instagram right now, right? You see people, and I don't mean this any wrong way, there are a lot of people who are hiring clothes and wearing them. What's the reason? They're aspirational to feel like a celebrity in a space that they know they may be like A, B, C star celebrity. The C star may not have the kind of funds the A star has, right? So C star can still be there and manifest to be there, is aspirational, is taking clothes on hire and wearing it for a function. So what's the big deal? So IKEA furniture also for some clients who cannot afford it, and I'm not saying I use IKEA in some of my, not sites, but some of my spaces in the home, but it is something that they want it to look a certain way, and IKEA gives you that. It gives you that modern edge feel for those 2-3 years. So why not? I mean, why not?
Okay, I think the central theme today from Control Z has become why not? So coming to you, Srikanth, when I was just looking up Opus paints, there was names like 1 kg Midnight, Arm Rus, BRB, Mugambo Khush Hua, Wine O'Clock. And the colors are called that. So how did Opus come up with these names, and what has the public's reaction been?
You know, as you were asking the self-indulgent question, I was thinking that, you know, this is perhaps where we have, you know, indulged because this is purely with something that how do you solve this problem of creating a new color system for India? And of course, you know, we first assembled the colors and we had to ensure that, you know, the colors work in the Indian context. And then we also wanted to show, because India has actually a very sophisticated color vocabulary, right? It's not just the Rani pinks that, you know, everyone talks about, you know, the very Western view of very bright. We wanted to break that, and we want to ensure there is a balanced palette of colors. And the last stage was actually naming, and, you know, Vidya is also here from my team. We spent almost 8 months naming these colors, almost 2,300 of them. Because finally, when you paint your house, it's the color that you remember. And we wanted to have a story around it. So when you tell your friends, you know, your family that, you know, do you know what this is? This is wine o'clock. Sounds very different from saying, oh, this is a light purple. And, you know, we've seen conversations on WhatsApp, you know, a husband and wife having, you know, should we have wine o'clock? No, I think half a kilo is better. You know, so it's a far more engaging and fun conversation. And we wanted to bring that element of interactivity to choosing paint color. Because, you know, let's face it, you know, paint is not the most exciting category, as we all know. So we want to add that layer of color over it.
I beg to
Paint is the
differ. Paint
most
is very
exciting.
exciting. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just,
What do you say?
I wanted someone else to say it. So thank you.
This is why you need all these
Marketing.
marketing geniuses. Huh? We're getting why you were hired. Ali, next one's for you. Inspiration can come from anywhere. There's a project of yours called La Danza, and it's a gorgeous home in Lavla. And you found your inspiration while you were on holiday in Spain. Now, how did you take an inspiration, transform it to a home that works for its occupants?
So La Danza's concept was brutalism. It was about brutalist architecture, and I always wanted to do something with it. But not being an architect myself, how do you get brutalism in an interior space? So this client of mine was very sweet. We've done 4 or 5 projects with them earlier. I said, this one, let me just do in a brutalist structure. So she said, it's too dingy. What is this? My house looks so dark. So I said, no, just give it some time. You'll be okay with it. And then I happened to go on this trip, and I saw the flamenco dance for the first time. I'd never seen a flamenco dance. I had goosebumps while I watched the dance. I had tears in my eyes. It sounds as dramatic as it does, but I did, and it was just. And when when we got up, there were a lot of other people also who were like, their eyes were wet, and so obviously it was an art form that evoked something inside me, and what actually happened was the masculine and feminine energies that dance brings right on the floor was very inspiring. To see the man become very fragile and have that dance, and I'm still getting goosebumps, and have the tap and the way it moves and the way the form is, it's hectic. It's really, really difficult. And then the woman becomes really strong and masculine in her form. And I said, this is not normal. Like, this is insane. And then, while talking about brutalism becoming very, very masculine, and she's saying it's too dingy and it's very, very strong, and I want something more feminine. I was like, this is the best way to mix the both elements. And flamenco was an inspiration. I got inspired from it. But in the house, it's not like I went to put flamenco paintings everywhere or something. It was an emotion that I played with in the project. So the brutalist, the bones were brutal, the color and all of that was there. But then there were materials like glass, fabrics, art, rugs that got that emotion. Some forms that got the dance. So automatically the home had a mix of both. So flamenco is an emotion in the brutalist structure that we created.
Very interesting indeed. I know we're running out of time. I want to end the session asking Kushagra a question. Now, Kushagra loves color. If you've seen his PPT, you've seen how there's a play of colors. My question to you is, would you ever design a sober space, regardless of being trendy or not trendy?
If by sober you mean minimal?
Neutral?
Yeah, why not? I mean, if it as my, yeah, I love colors, yes. My idea to play with colors is, we Indians are grown up with colors. Look at our festivals, look at our Havelis, look at our architecture. Everybody is like played in colors. You're wearing color, I'm wearing color. Like, it's more than a black and white actually. For
Considering
us,
architects are known for just being in black for some reason. I don't know why, but
I think if a client actually wants minimal, I have done a couple of projects where my client was like, they don't like colors. And I want to understand why not. So I'll tell you a very interesting fact about this. When it comes to interiors, people like to be minimal. And when I do their landscape projects, like their balconies, they like to play with textures, colors and everything. And I always question them, if you love this so much, why it doesn't reflect in your own home? They're like, because we were scared. And there, one line by Shabnam Gupta has reminded me a lot. It's just a paint color, you can change it anytime. It's just a fabric, you can change it anytime. The foundation can be strong, as Ali mentioned, the foundation of the house can be strong, which can last for good 20-25 years. But the soft furnishings, the soft part of it, that can be changed. So why people are so afraid about going? Coming to question back to this, if a client actually understands why they want minimal, and they enjoy it immensely, understanding the value of it, why not?
That's interesting. So today our Control Z was perhaps Control Z on bad design, and why not experiment with more, right? Thank you so much for being here with us, and keep
Thank you.
pressing from Control A to Control Z, guys.